Back to Math with Miss Swartz. Today we're looking at word problems and word sentences. The thing about word problems and word sentences with inequalities is we really don't have a lot to write down as in notes. We just have to break down our word problems, we have to break down our word sentences, and we have to look to see what each piece means. So we have to take English and kind of make it into math, which can be more difficult. So all today is going to be a bunch of practice. I do want you to write down the problem. I know that takes a little bit of time, but I would like you to write down each problem so that you have something to look back at. Okay, so let's start with a few examples. Okay, so I want you to write down number 1 and number 2 here. The elevator can hold up to 340 pounds. Okay, so we want to write an inequality that fits with the words. Okay, so we want to represent any number that the elevator can hold as in a variable, so x or a, whatever you want it to be. Okay, so the elevator can hold this amount, and it says it can hold up to. What we generally start to ask ourselves is, can it hold more, can it hold less, and can it hold that amount? So, first question for you, can it hold more than 340 pounds? So if it can hold up to 340 pounds, can it hold more than? Well, no, it can't hold more than. Can it hold less than? If it can hold up to 340 pounds, it can definitely hold less than 340. Can it hold 340? Well, if it can hold up to, it can also hold up to 340. So x is going to be, well, we said more, that would fall into greater, less would be less than, and 340 would be equal to, so it's going to be less than or equal to 340. I have to be able to understand our words and how they relate to our inequality symbols, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So number 2, there were at least 25 students in the class. So remember, our variable is going to represent, okay, if we want to call it S, it's going to represent how many students could be in the class. So if there were at least, okay, again, we can ask ourselves our questions. Could there be more? Well, if there were at least 25 students, there could be more. Could there be less? Well, at least 25, so there couldn't be less then. Could there be 25? Well, at least 25, meaning, yeah, there could be 25. So now we have it. More represents greater than, and since it can be 25, we could say are equal to 25. Okay, so hopefully you have both of those written down. Alright, so we not only need to be able to take a sentence and make it an inequality, write it as an inequality, we're also going to use word problems and help us solve inequalities. So, we have to be able to break this down. It says you earn $8.50 per hour. This is going to be important at your summer job. It says write and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours you need to work in order to buy concert tickets that cost $222. So you want to go to this concert, you make a certain amount of money, you got to make at least this much to go. Well, I just said a very important sentence. I need to make at least that much to go to the concert. So, if I make $8.50 an hour, okay, we're wondering how many hours I need to work. We're going to call that H. Okay, if I work $8.50 per hour, okay, I'm going to be multiplying $8.50 times H. Because, like if I were to make $5 and I told you you worked 2 hours, you would have made $10, right? Because you multiplied those. So per always means multiply in math. And I know this is long, but I do kind of want you to write this down. So this would be your third one that we're going to be checking for. So if we want to buy those concert tickets, we have to make at least $222. So again, ask yourself, could we work more hours that we would make more than this? Well, yeah, because then I would have enough plus more to maybe get something at the concert. Could I make less and still go to the concert? No. Could I make 222 exactly and still go to the concert? Yes. So that tells me 850H needs to be greater than or equal to 222. From there, I'm going to solve this inequality, and then I can even graph it. So, if I want to get H alone, I'm going to divide by 850 because I need to get rid of my 850 here, and those are being multiplied by each other. So I have H is greater than or equal to, so 222 divided by 850, you can use a calculator. It's going to be a big long decimal here, but 26.117, we'll stop here at 6. Okay, it kind of continues on. Okay, so to be able to go to the concert, you would have to work a little over 26 hours. Okay, so you could work exactly 26.11211676, but you may want to, just in case, be careful and work 27. So if we graph this, okay, this is going to be a little bit more difficult to graph than our graphs that we have graphed before, but we're just going to hug that really close to 26. It's got to be greater than. So the hours you could work could be bigger than 26.1. Okay, let's try a few other problems. Again, we're back to the sentences. So it says 3 less than 4 times a number n is less than 8 times a number n. Okay, so we have to be careful here because we have a couple less thans going on. But is always kind of that middle ground. Wherever you see the word is, that's where you're going to know you need to put your inequality. So let's look here. 3 less than 4 times a number. Remember, if I asked you what 3... I don't know why my pen is struggling tonight. 3 less than 5 was, you would tell me 2, because you did 5 minus 3. So we have to do 4 times the number n, 4n, minus 3. Okay, it says is less than, makes it easy, less than 8 times the number n. So 8n. So again, here's your number 4, write that down. Here's number 5. Okay, it says the most you could spend on textbooks is 400. So again, we have to go back to our, could it be more? Could it be less? Could it be 400? So it says the most you could spend. So could you spend more? Well, no, it says the most you could spend. Could it be less? Yes. But the most I could spend is 400, so it could also be 400. So whatever I want to call what I spend, so on textbooks, T needs to be less than or equal to 400. Good. We also need to be able to look at a graph and decipher if, or the inequality that we have from the graph. This is pretty easy because a lot of you do pretty well with graphing. So we just need to be able to write, okay, if this is my graph, x is going to be greater than or equal to 3 because it's shaded to the right, closed circle. Here, I should have x is going to be greater than, open circle, negative 4. So I need to just practice a couple of those. You do not have to write these two down. I feel like you guys probably have a good handle, and we'll do a practice on that on the CSA review. But I would like you to write down this problem because there's one just like it on your CSA. So it says the requirements for a roller coaster are shown. You must be at least 4 feet tall. You must weigh no more than 300 pounds, and you must be 15 years or older. It says write and graph 3 inequalities that represent the requirements. Okay, so let's start with writing. If you must be at least 4 feet tall, we gotta ask ourselves, can we be more than 4 feet tall? Can we be less? And can we be 4? Could we be more? Well, yeah, we have to be at least, right? Could we be less? No. Could we be 4? Yes. So, x could be greater than or equal to 4. And then I want you to go ahead and graph that. It says now weigh no more than 300 pounds. So could I be more? No, it says no more. Could I be less? Yes. Could I be 300? Yes. Okay, so no more than 300 pounds, so I need to be less than or equal to 300 pounds. So go ahead and graph that. And we must be 15 years or older. So can I be more than 15? Yes. Can I be less than 15? No. Can I be 15? Yes. So x is going to be greater than or equal to 15. So I want you to graph 1, 2, and 3 and make sure you have this one written down. At least this part, and then the 1, 2, 3, and then our inequalities with a graph. Awesome. Okay, so that is kind of the end of our lesson for today. You're going to come get your notes checked. Remember, you need to have written down all of those problems. The code word for today is Husker, so you need to have that written down in your notes. And you will then get your CSA review to get you prepared for Friday for your CSA. Have a great day!